Well, speaking of inconsistency,
Here we go.
I'll start with my review.
Finally.
So this month, I was supposed to review Resident Evil, numerically the first in the series. Here's my review. I'm not smart enough. So I watched the YouTube playthrough, not a speed run, but the player definitely had experience with the game and pretty much played the game straight through almost perfectly, like pretty good routing and knew what to pick up and what to leave. That video was 4 hours long.
Oh boy.
And at about an hour and a half, the player was at the furthest spot I've ever made it into this game, which was definitely not this playthrough. I'll talk about it during happy hour because I cannot, in good conscience, label my experience as a legit review for Resident Evil 1.
Damn.
I just haven't played enough. So this month, I'm going to talk about the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Okay. Just go for it.
Just go for it. It was released in 2019 by Capcom, based on the original that was released in 1998. The remake was released on pretty much every console, including a cloud version on the Switch in 2022.
Ew.
So for the story opens up with character selection. You can choose to play as either Leon Kennedy or Claire Redfield. This choice affects the story in minor ways that strongly encourages replays. I played this one a couple of years ago, pretty much, I don't know, like 6 months after it came out or something. And during that playthrough, I played as Leon. So for this playthrough, I played as Claire. There are trophies for completing the story as each character, and I wanted a trophy. This story takes place approximately 2 months after the events of the first game. Leon and Claire are strangers, and they're both on their way to Raccoon City. Leon is starting his new job for the Raccoon City Police, and Claire is looking for her brother, who is in a Raccoon City cop. When they arrive, they encounter zombies. They get separated, and depending on the chosen character, one hides in the police station for safety. The station acts basically as the mansion from the first game. It's a big building that the player must run all around, unlocking doors and safes, upgrading their weapons and pocket space, which is the inventory, and trying to survive while trying to escape. Each character unlocks sections of the station differently. Progression by getting certain keys is different. And as stated before, each character has a slightly different story. The story can generally be cut into 3 different sections. There's the police station and the parking garage. There's the sewer and then the umbrella lab. Leon encounters Ada Wong in the sewers, and then they investigate Umbrella in the lab. The evil pharma corporation. Claire encounters Sherry, a little girl whose parents are terrible, awful parents, and who are also Umbrella scientists that are probably responsible for the zombie outbreak, maybe.
Oh boy.
Something I found out 2 days ago while doing research for this review. Completing the story, the main story, with one character unlocks the other character's side campaign. What that character is doing after you split up and your chosen character is in the police station, the unlocked story follows the other character in the meantime.
That's cool. I'm assuming that's an addition in the remake, right?
Wrong.
Really?
So I didn't know what that was, because it pops up in the menu as when I played Leon, it popped up as congratulations, you finished the main story, you've unlocked Claire's second run. And I was like, oh, this is just some dumb speedrunning bullshit, I'll never do that. I didn't know it was the other half of the story. Oops. While running around the police station, an unkillable character referred to as Mr. X stalks the chosen character, adding pressure to trying to escape. The description is going to make him sound goofy. He's many feet taller than Leon and Claire. He wears a long black trench coat, black boots, black gloves, and a black fedora. I included a picture of him because it sounds so goofy, but it looks pretty serious when you look at him. He's big and spooky.
Spider-Man noir looking ass.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, a little
But
bit.
you were picturing Batman, weren't you?
Not quite, but you know.
When I played as Leon, Mr. X was kind of annoying. Like, now I gotta go. Now I can't go straight to where I need to go. I need to go the long way now. But as Claire, he was extremely annoying. I felt like I was stuck in more hallways with Claire, where I couldn't just run downstairs, go through a couple of rooms, and then come back upstairs. I was stuck trying to hide in a linear room, or a couple linear rooms, or just forced to run towards him and try to duck around him. It was a lot more difficult. It felt a lot more linear every time I got stuck by him. This leads me to sound design. Spoilers, it's so good. Zombies often fake their own death when they've been shot a couple of times, but the biggest giveaway that they are still alive, besides noticing that their brain didn't split apart before they fall, is that you can hear them breathing.
That's cool.
There were many times. You can hear my computer breathing right now. There were many times I entered a room and just stood still to hear what else was in the dark with me. So many objects in the game have fantastic sound design behind them. The items chest, you can store extra crap in, squeaks when you open it up. The typewriter, which is the save feature, clicks and clacks satisfyingly so you know you didn't menu too fast and accidentally didn't save. That might have happened once or twice. Guns sound different and unique from each other. They give a nice pop or a bang depending on the caliber. Back to Mr. X, though. He's so big and monstrous, you can hear him stomping his big black boots all through the house. You can usually tell place and proximity, too. Is he upstairs? Is he on the other side of this door? More often than not, you can give it a pretty accurate guess of where he is. You know he's really close. In the same room as you when the music starts playing. The music doesn't play all through the game. It's saved for set pieces like a touching moment between characters or an exciting chase or fight scene, but when it is played, it's effective. The music is extremely fitting for the scenario it's found in and really helps fill the space. It especially makes fight scenes even more intense. The visuals in this game are awesome. The remake was made in the RE engine, the engine Capcom made for Resident Evil 7. Let me pause my review for just a minute. Resident Evil 7 was probably the first Resident Evil that I played. I might have dabbled with one before that, but it wasn't for long. It just didn't grab my attention. I played Resident Evil 7 on a jet engine PlayStation 4 in the daylight on a 1080p TV. That was across the room, and it still scared the shit out of me. It looks so good. My experience with 7 was enough to make me continue playing the series years later and trying to catch up on a series that I'd never cared about before. So now, consider that for this game. I will admit that character models aren't perfect in this engine. Claire's ponytail will look a little weird sometimes. Sometimes an eye will look layered into the face in a strange way. But the vast majority of the game just looks so good. Lights and shadows, blood. If you play with the knife and you're slashing zombies, you can see the slash marks of blood on the floor.
That's good.
It's so cool.
Liquid physics.
Character animations, like headshotting a zombie and watching the neck snap back. It's excellent stuff. For gameplay.
Game Boy.
Yeah, I can't talk. For gameplay. Do I really need to explain the gameplay?
Yes.
You run through the police station solving puzzles, collecting keys, managing your limited inventory, shooting zombies, avoiding those liquor bastards, avoiding that Mr. X bastard, boarding up windows, mixing quote-unquote green herbs, winky winky, to heal yourself. The shooting mechanic takes a minute to get used to, but it's a really cool design feature. I don't know. The reticle will start fairly wide, so you have to aim and wait for a second as the reticle closes in to a finer point, and that's when you can aim more precisely, trying to nail that critical headshot. You can shoot when the reticle is wide out, but it's basically like the big circle in Halo instead of waiting for it to shrink down.
Yeah.
If you are aiming and you get the fine reticle, and then you take a step or two in a direction, it widens the reticle again. So you have to wait for it to shrink down to know you'll be more precise when firing. Having shot a real weapon before, I think this system is awesome and kind of relatable. Not everybody is going to be the Call of Duty super soldier that gets every gun perfectly aimed as soon as they raise it. These characters are trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. Also, this system makes combat so much more stressful because you have to wait for what feels like forever while a hungry zombie is walking towards you. Again, that stress would make aiming difficult if this were real. True. I think it's cool. I will say that I love the map in this remake. I think it was very easy to find the floor plan for this game, so like as you're running around, you can find a map of the first floor, and it so I could see rooms on the map that I hadn't visited. But I love that this game's map expands on past games with the information it gives me, the player. In the first game, Resident Evil 1, the one I'm skipping, it would merely show me on the map if I had unlocked a door. Blue is unlocked, red is locked.
Wow! Innovation.
And if I had picked up everything in the room, it would show me the same color scheme. In this game, the map shows me items if I walked close enough to them. Sometimes it wouldn't always register an item because I hadn't walked close enough to it, making for some pleasant and or frustrating discoveries. This map also showed me what I needed to unlock doors, again, by proximity. So if I tried to open a door, but I needed the heart or the club key, it would put that logo on the red door on my map.
That's cool.
This is especially helpful if you, the player, are an adult, maybe not playing the game in one sitting because you have a life. So the game marking the map makes it so much easier to pick at the puzzles and feel the excitement of like, yes, I finally found the diamond key. You can then pull up the map, route a path to unlock all the diamond doors, get a quarter of the way there, and have Mr. X completely ruin all your plans. In closing, while doing research, I found that a lot of Resident Evil fans were kind of bummed because the cool story features of splitting it up into different run-throughs was diluted some for this game. Not as much unique things happen to the different characters like in the OG Resident Evil 2. That's why I kind of ignored your question, because I get back to it later. Yes, the original one did split the campaign up like that, but apparently it went more in-depth than this game does. This game kind of reuses and recycles rooms and puzzles and stuff. But I don't know. I haven't played it.
Whack.
Apparently, it's even worse for the RE3 remake. So that'll be fun. However, with this being my only experience with Resident Evil 2, I obviously didn't play the original, I'm really happy with this game. There are a couple bonus game modes I've never touched. There are all kinds of unlockable character or item models, the concept art that you can get by doing different things in the game. There are a couple of fun alternate costumes for the characters. It feels so nice to play a game that is a complete package on release. I haven't seen anything about these releasing as a buggy mess. They don't ruin their own story with DLC add-on bullshit. It's a straightforward game and story that's designed to be played through a couple of times and seen from different perspectives. This last playthrough was about 6 hours. I have no idea how many hours I spent playing it last time, so I don't know, you can say I put in 15, 20 hours maybe into this game already, and I still have 2 other halves to play through. Plus whatever the bonus modes are. I got this game for $20 in 2019, and I'm very satisfied, especially because I found that it came with a free PS5 upgrade.
Free? That's cool.
I went to download it digitally.
Usually those are an extra $10.
Not usually. When the PS5 was new, a bunch of games were like, yeah, here's a free HD pack, basically. It's all it was, but
That's cool.
Still free.
Free's
It was
good.
like a year later that companies were like, actually, we're going to start charging for these.
Yeah.
I like this one. Thumbs up.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice, huh?